Hey guys, so let's just jump right into it. First things first, I'm putting foundation all over my face, ears, and neck, and it's a little bit lighter than my skin tone, like 2 to 3 shades lighter, and I'm going to put 2 layers of foundation on because I want to get as flawless of a look so it looks like a doll's porcelain skin. Okay, so once I let my foundation sit for like a minute and let it dry, I am going to set it with a powder. This is just a translucent powder. It's, I think, the Rimmel Stay Matte powder. And I'm just going to set all of this makeup because I don't want it to budge and I want to be able to blend out my other makeup on top. Now we're going to get started with the eyes. First I'm going to take this white crayon pencil eyeshadow base thing and I'm going to use it to kind of map out the shape that I want. I'm kind of following my eye bone and the curvature of my eyes just to kind of get the general shape. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be nice and neat because we're going to mess with it later, so I'm just kind of getting out the general shape of what I want the eye shape to be. Once I map out the general shape that I want, then I'm going to go and fill it in entirely and also get the waterline so that the entire eye is white, and then I'm just going to repeat on the other eye, the same thing. Now I'm just going to take that same translucent powder and set the white makeup so that it doesn't move or crease. Now taking a pencil brush that's kind of dense and a light brown shadow, I'm going to use this basically as my transition color to get like shading. I'm going to take this and outline the entire bubble or eye shape that we just created. Again, it really doesn't have to be that neat. We're just kind of getting the colors down before we end up going back and cleaning it up. So don't worry about if you mess up or it's kind of sloppy. Using that same light brown color and a little bit fluffier blending brush, I'm just kind of smoking out the color we just laid down just to kind of give it that shaded effect. When you're blending, don't worry if it's not perfect because, again, this is Halloween makeup and it kind of looks like it's painted, so it kind of goes with the whole doll look. Now I'm just taking a short, kind of dense shader brush that's really flat and skinny, and I actually got this from Michael's as a paintbrush, but it works good for this. I am just using it with a dark brown eyeshadow and I'm outlining the white. I've outlined the whole white area, I'm kind of taking the brush and pulling the line that I just made to kind of blend it with the lighter brown that we blended up before. So it kind of just is a gradient effect from the dark brown to the light brown. To the mouth, I'm going to take that same dark brown eyeshadow and I'm going to mix it with a little bit of black eyeshadow and draw these two straight lines coming straight out from the tips of my mouth. And then I'm going to draw lines straight down, basically to underneath my chin on both sides to kind of look like a detached mouth or detached chin and jaw, like a doll. And once I've gotten those lines down, then I'm going to connect the bottoms of them underneath the chin. Now to give it more dimension, I'm going to shade the corners of the mouth. All I'm doing is kind of creating a little triangle at the top of that line and shade it in with this black-brown eyeshadow mixture. And then I'm going to take that and draw a line underneath the mouth, kind of not connected to my lip line, underneath my lip line. Okay, so once I've made that shaded triangle on each side of the mouth, I'm then taking a black shadow on this same paintbrush and just darkening the outer lines. And then I'm going back with that pencil brush from before and the lightest brown, and I'm just shading underneath on the insides of each of the lines, just to kind of give it more dimension and give it more of a separated look. Okay, so going back to the paintbrush and the black eyeshadow, I'm going to take this and draw lines, just like you see here, starting from where the lines of the mouth meet underneath the chin, and I'm going to draw almost like a really long skinny triangle and then just fill it in with the black shadow. And I'm going to do this on both sides, and it's going to be just kind of like that effect of that it was a doll that was put together in pieces, so that it was like the chin was one part with the jaw and then the top of the head was one part. So it's just to kind of give that illusion of pieces being put together. Going along that same thing, I'm going to take the black eyeshadow and draw a line right in the middle of my neck. Now looking back at it, I would put the line a little bit lower so it's a little more visible, especially in like photos, and if you were wearing a costume, it would look more natural if the line was lower, but I kind of just went for the middle of the neck, and I just did the same thing. I kind of made like skinny triangles that meet in the middle and shaded them in with the black eyeshadow. Just for the same illusion, just that it was pieces of a doll that were, built and put together. So moving on to the eyebrows, I'm taking my normal everyday eyebrow pencil and I'm just kind of mapping out the look that I want for the eyebrows. Now because this is like a doll look, I want the eyebrows to be kind of whimsical looking, so I'm going to make them kind of swirly and I'm going to make one bigger than the other. So all I'm doing is kind of mapping out where I'm going to put the eyebrow. It took me a few tries and some testing here and there of what looked better, and I did kind of erase a little bit and go back, but basically I knew I wanted kind of a swirly look, and it did have to be bigger than my natural eyebrow shape, so I'm just using this to map out what I want. Once I got the shape that I wanted, I knew I was going to need a darker color, so I went and grabbed a brown eyeliner and basically filled in the lines that I just mapped out. Also using short strokes just to kind of keep the look of an eyebrow and some hairs, but I did press pretty hard to get a really dark, bold brow. After the eyeliner, I did notice that I needed to clean up just some lines, so I took the original eyebrow pencil just to kind of clean up a little bit of the edges and make it look a little bit cleaner. Sorry about something being in the frame. I'm not really sure what that is, and my battery died, so yeah, that's there for this shot. Now basically I'm contouring, but I'm taking the smaller brush and I'm taking the contour, which is just a normal, I think it's a Hoola Benefit bronzer, and I'm actually drawing the line a little bit higher on my cheekbone than I normally would carve out the hollows of my cheek. And this is to get a lifted cheek effect, because dolls typically have a fuller cheek, and I wanted it to look kind of round and full like a doll. And so then I also dragged the bronzer underneath my actual cheek there to, same thing, get that rounded cheek effect. And then did the same thing on the other side. Next, I'm going to create freckles, and I'm doing this by taking my original eyebrow pencil, and basically I'm just going to poke the cheek and give the pencil a little twist to create a little dot. Now, moving on to lashes, I was putting mascara on. You could do false lashes if you wanted a little bit more dramatic effect, but being that my whole eyelid is white, I just put a lot of mascara on and I got that full lash look, which just kind of made my eyes look really open and doll-like. And also I'm concentrating the mascara more towards the inner corners of the eye to make my eyes look more rounded and open. Since this look is pretty much all browns and neutral tones, I kind of wanted to leave the lips more of a brown tone as well. So I'm just cleaning off all the excess makeup on my lips, and I'm taking this brown lip liner pencil. It's called Spice. It's from Estee Lauder, and basically creating just a little X underneath my Cupid's bow to give like a sharp point there to make it look kind of doll-like. And I'm just lining my lips as normal. And then for my bottom lip, I am going to overdraw it a little bit to give a fuller effect. And then I fill in my lips with the lip liner. The lip liner was a little dry for me, so I just took a clear lip balm and with my finger patted it onto the center of the lips so the lip liner wasn't as drying. And then I took that white pencil that we used for the eyes and I just kind of patted it into the center of the lips to give more of a highlighted look, which actually will make the lips look fuller as well. And I did the same on the Cupid's bow just to kind of make the lips look fuller and do a little bit of a highlight there. And I really liked how it ended up looking. And that's the finished look. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe.